Today is Thursday, May the 15th, continuing on my journey of finding my way out of Canada, hopefully into the US, with more time being spent in Spain on a life project. And today I feel a little bit conflicted. If you listened to yesterday's episode, you will have known, or you will know, that I'm in the process right now of really strengthening the business I have here in Calgary by trying to remove and extricate myself from it. Not because I don't enjoy it or anything like that, but the business has reached a level right now where I'm really not very helpful, other than to find the right people for the right jobs, doing the right things. And things that they enjoy and that they're good at. So, one of those tasks involves moving our accounting and our finance from overseas here locally. Because the difference between the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, and the amount of work that's being done for what it can be done for here with the help of AI just seems to make sense that we do it here because our team needs a real human being here to help them do some stuff. And so the fellow that I've got on board is way overqualified for the work that we have him doing. However, he is from Mexico. He's in the process right now of getting up to speed on what it means to work in Canada. He's been here for 2 years with his family. And so we've offered to give him 20 hours a week so that he can help us out. And at the same time, we're going to help him build a bookkeeping business, or I'm going to help him build a bookkeeping business. Not something I'll own as an investor, nothing like that. I just want to see him flourish and do well. And so I'm conflicted today because he moved his family from Mexico to Canada in search of a better life, more opportunities for his family. He's got three young children. And I'm looking to move my family from Canada to the US and to Spain as well for, believe it or not, better opportunity. So everything is relevant. And I get conflicted because it makes me feel like maybe I'm being a little bit spoiled, a little bit entitled. And in today's episode, I just wanted to share a little bit about how I see it and to walk you through kind of my thinking. So, first of all, I haven't started the business plan yet for the US, but I did incorporate a company, open a bank account, finally got my tax ID number, which is awesome. So I can start working on that. I am working at building up some web traffic for the business in the US before I get there. And so I've got lots of work to do in anticipation of going there. But in working with this new fellow on our team, it did remind me that as entrepreneurs, we can often get stuck trying to figure out what is all of this worth. I know there was certainly a time in my life when I turned 30, 17 years ago, where I was doing really well and I hadn't experienced any turmoil in my career yet. Everything was kind of up and to the right, and it all seemed too easy. Of course, I couldn't have possibly known that the financial crisis was only 2 years away, and I would spend the next decade digging out of really deep holes. And so I've made money and I've lost money, and I'm at a stage in my life now where I'm really trying to understand what is the highest and best use of me. And if I zoom out a little bit, I think the highest and best use of me is to invest in people. And I don't think that there's anything more valuable than that. I don't think there's more cars, more houses, more trips, more experiences, more things that I would want to consume or purchase. I really see a tremendous amount of value in investing in other people's lives. And so I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a business owner. That means I have the opportunity to serve my wife. I have the opportunity to serve my five children, and I have the opportunity to serve the folks that work under my leadership. And that's an amazing responsibility. And it reminds me that no matter what cards you've been dealt with, and I've been in my lifetime been dealt all sorts of cards, good ones, bad ones, opportunities, problems, circumstantial things. I don't think any of it is by accident. And this is when I first started recording my thoughts a couple weeks back. I had shared with you that some of this would be faith-based, and I believe that there's nothing that God is surprised about in my life. I think that that everything that has happened in my life has been for a purpose. That purpose has been to help me serve other people well, and to find meaning and depth in that can't be obtained from more possessions, more experiences, more stuff. That the ability to serve people is bottomless, and I think that because we all have a bottomless void inside of us, that's how we fill it. We fill it with looking outward, and I think all of us are at different stages in our as business owners. For sure, we're all at different stages in our kind of entrepreneurial arc, from thinking about starting something to growing something to selling something. We're all kind of at a different point along that storyline. But I think what I've discovered so far is that the most value has come from being able to see other people succeed. And even as recently as a few weeks ago, when I said, I'm going to really work hard to extract myself from the business because I leave the country in a couple of months to go to Spain. And I want to make sure that when I leave, that the team has everything that they need to work really well, and that I'll still be the glue that holds everything together as the owner and as kind of the leader, but I'm also going to make sure that they all have the ability to really leverage what they're all very great at. And in order to do that, I have to be able to serve them. I have to be able to come alongside of them, understand where they're struggling. I recently had a situation where I had someone in a position that they weren't particularly excited to be in, but they felt like it was kind of the natural next step for them, only to discover that maybe it wasn't the best use. And I could identify that we could sort of change what they did a little bit to help some of the other team members. And all of a sudden, I can really see this particular individual starting to get some new traction, but more importantly, he's really excited about what he's doing and is getting validation from that. And so, as a leader, that's our job. Our job is to get up every day and serve people. And for entrepreneurs that are struggling, you might think, oh, well, I'm backwards in debt, or I can't manage my business well, or my business is in a broken moment, or hey, we've just got these great big contracts and things are going really well. Whatever it is that you have, I believe God's not surprised by it. I believe he actually, all those things have to pass through his hands to get into your life. And that ultimately, if you've got some faith, that he'll use all of those things to ultimately produce a better result in your life. And what does that better result look like? I think it looks like how you choose to invest in other people through all of those things that you've been handed. And today, in training our new guy who's taking over a lot of this finance work from me, it became very apparent that my ability to invest in him, not only to have him take on some work in our business, but to show him how he can go and build his own client base and maybe even introduce him to the first bunch of clients that will work with him. That, I mean, what greater investment than that is there? So I'm very excited about that. As you know, we have a fellow on our team who runs a labor company, and we've now started investing in him and his business, not because we're owners in his business, but because in helping him, we benefit, but more importantly, he benefits and he's able to give the Spanish community a lot of work and pay them well. And I think that that's extremely meaningful. So today, just feeling like it's important to be reminded that everything is relative. Fella from Mexico coming to Canada in search of a better life, and I'm leaving Canada to go elsewhere in search of trying to figure out how to be more useful in the world, and to do something really interesting where I feel like I can ride the wave of the moment, which is what I think America's doing. I think Canada's on the other side. So my responsibilities here are to invest in people, to give them the best opportunity that they can have. And I just felt it was important to share this idea that I've always just seen what I have in my hands. I hold it loosely because I believe I'm old enough now to have seen enough things happen in my life that everything generally works in a direction for a better outcome than I could have ever imagined if I'm able to approach every day serving other people, whether as a husband, as a father, or as a business owner. And so I'd encourage you today, if you're a business owner and you're struggling to find your footing or to really put some weight into something, if there's a feeling of despair, or there's a feeling of what is the point of all of this, I would challenge you to consider this idea that you are in a privileged position of being able to serve other people. And you may not want to, but I can tell you that it's worth it. So anyway, that's my episode today. Today, for sure, if someone asks me, am I staying or I'm going, I'm definitely going, because I think a life full of stories is a life well lived. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with trying to get a business going in the US while spending time in Spain, looking to work on a project that I think could have an impact for decades to come. So Am I staying or am I going? Today is definitely I'm a going day.